Executive National Vice President, Rachel Chan.
So Rachel started her Arbonne journey in 2013 at just 21 years old. She built her business alongside raising her two little girls, Mia, who is 8, and Olivia, who is 4. She is a 4-time AIT achiever, featured in the Arbonne catalogue in 2019, and has trained at the UK National Training Conference now 4 times. She promoted to National Vice President and became an Executive National Vice President in 2020.
Today, more than ever, as a solo parent of 2 little girls, she is passionate about empowering others to live a healthier, happier, and more abundant lifestyle through sharing all that Arbonne has to offer.
So training today on Prepare for Impact, Building for the Future, let's give it up for Executive National Vice President Rachel Chan.
Thank you so much, Kelly and Vicky. So hi everyone, for those of you that I've yet to meet, my name is Rachel Chan. I'm 30 years old from Scotland. I'm a mum to 2 beautiful little girls and a very proud independent consultant and Executive National Vice President with Arbonne. Today I'm going to be training in something that I feel so passionate about, and that's preparing for impact and building your Arbonne business for the future. So when we all start our Arbonne journeys, we all start with our own reasons why. For some of us, it might be the excitement of a new challenge, being surrounded by a positive community, the chance to improve our physical, financial, mental and or emotional well-being, or a combination of some or all of those things. And for some people, they see the opportunity to build this business to the very top and completely change their own lives and the lives of others. Whatever your why is, I believe there's a place for everyone in Arbonne, regardless of how big or how small your goals are, and that everyone can be positively impacted by our products, community and business opportunity. In 2013, when I started my Arbonne journey as a 21-year-old girl who at the time wasn't excited by the direction her life was headed in, I saw this as a chance for positive change. Now, at the time, I wasn't surrounded by people who were helping me to become a better person, encouraging me to go after my dreams, or lifting the lid on what I knew was possible for my life and myself. If anything, I was surrounded by people who were doing the complete opposite. So despite the fact I wasn't sure that I could make this work, I was inspired by the people in this company, so I wanted to be a part of it. Now, I would say from day one that I gained something from Arbonne, and that was belief and hope. Belief that I could be better through hearing inspiring stories of others who had positively grown and changed in lots of ways because of Arbonne, and hope that my future could look potentially different. Hope that I could grow into a healthier, more confident, happier person and have more choices for my life. So the first year of my Arbonne journey was slow, to say the least. I was a struggling consultant who had signed up only 2 preferred clients and 1 independent consultant who had quit within days of starting. Although I desperately knew I needed to make this work, I took little action. My mindset was negative and I was not yet willing to get uncomfortable to take the necessary action to change my circumstances. So I believe my real Arbonne journey began at the beginning of 2014 when I discovered my first why. After having my first baby, I realised this was about more than just me and that I needed to make Arbonne work. In March 2014, I promoted to area manager. This was my first milestone in Arbonne and it fueled my vision and belief even more. From there onwards, I continued to grow my business through consistent activity of selling products, enrolling new preferred clients and independent consultants every single month to region, 2.5 years after promoting to area. This is where, however, I met my first real roadblock. I promoted to region and instead of continuing to do the things that got me there, I stopped. I started managing my team, stopped leading from the front and focused purely on coaching them to the next level. I overtrained my team and in general disempowered them by doing too much to help them build their businesses. Yes, whilst our role as leaders in this business is to support and encourage our teams whilst helping them develop the necessary skills, we can't do it all for them. I learned the most through my journey of actively doing. I learned how to run successful product events, one-to-ones sharing the business, sharing the Arbonne presentation, signing up new customers and consultants, overcoming people's objections, following up and launching new consultants. By doing all of these things, your team will be more inspired by your own activity than trying to coach them into activity. Yes, absolutely, run alongside those who are in consistent activity and support them through helping them until they are confident enough to do it themselves. At some point, we need to cut the cord and let people grow and learn on their own. I started to lower the bar I had previously set myself and settled for average and less than maintenance. I was a maintaining or nearly maintaining region, and I somehow found a way to excuse it and be okay with it. My lack of personal activity fueled my doubt, insecurities and fears. Then this spilled into the way that I led my team, the action I took and how I shared the business with new people. In August 2017, only 9 months after promoting to region, I lost my RVP paid title and went into title maintenance. I felt at an all-time low, but also knew that I had a choice to make. Allow this setback to become my story and excuses as to why it hadn't worked, or to allow it to become the biggest reasons for me to lean into growth and have the biggest comeback. 60 days after losing my region, I promoted back to RVP, and the month after that, we had our biggest month in my entire success line to that date. Now, fast forward to September 2019, we were seeing some of the biggest growth in our overall success line. Business was booming, but unbeknown to anyone around me, aside from a small handful of close friends, my family life and personal life was crumbling. On the close of November 2019, we worked as a team to close Nation, but didn't make it happen. At this point, I knew the relationship to the father of my children and also an RVP qual in my team was about to come to an end. The environment had become unhealthy for me and unhealthy for my children. The consequences of leaving terrified me, both from a personal standpoint and from a business standpoint, but I knew staying where I was and doing nothing wasn't an option anymore. I needed to do this for my family and for my future happiness. On January the 10th, 2021, I left behind a home and a family life that was 7 years in the making. I left behind an identity we had built together, both in Arbonne and in our local community. I felt embarrassed, ashamed and devastated all at the same time. I was worried what people around me, both in Arbonne and my personal life, would think. And I was scared that they would think I was a fraud, that everything that I'd stood for was a lie, because no one knew of the struggles that I'd faced in my relationship at the time. So from there onwards, I spent the next few months rebuilding my internal happiness, health, and making sure my girls were healthy, safe and happy in our new home. In February 2020, I am so grateful to have went on the most incredible trip to Mexico on Arbonne's incentive trip, and this was a huge part of my healing journey. My business gave me the time and grace to focus on the things I needed to in my personal life, and this would never have been possible in a 9-to-5 job, but also the financial support to set up a new life with my girls, leaving everything that I knew behind. My belief in myself and my strength started to grow again. In March 2020, we then went into our first full UK lockdown. Fear and uncertainty was everywhere, but I knew by this point, after everything that I'd been through, that the few things that I could control were what I fueled my body with, what I fueled my mind with, and the action that I took in my life and in my Arbonne business. I got to work, and from home virtually, we got into massive activity alongside my team. I declared my vision with them and what my goal was for the team and personally. Then in June 2021, 90 days after declaring that vision and setting a daily structure for the team to keep us all plugged in, working towards our goals, we promoted to not only MVP, but ENVP. We saw the biggest growth in our success line to date, and the energy was on fire. Because of this, in August 2021, I was able to buy my new family home for me and my 2 little girls because of the hard work over time that I had put into my Arbonne business. I will be forever grateful to my team, this community and company, because I honestly don't know where we would be without them. Now, I'd love to say from there onwards, life and business has been easy and growth has been exponential, but I'd be lying. The last year has been one of the most challenging, both in my personal life and business. There have been huge moments of weakness where I've wanted to quit and run from it all, but the thing that has always kept me going is remembering my why and what I'm building towards for the future. I never started Arbonne for the impact that has hit my life in the last 2 years, but I was prepared for it by doing the work both mentally, physically, and emotionally through my Arbonne journey. I want you all to remember that the work you are doing now, every single struggle, setback, rejection that you are facing, is preparing you for the future. I hope that no one ever has to face the impact that I have had to face in my own life, but I hope that if ever you do, you are prepared for it. So here's some lessons and tips to help you keep going during your own season of struggle. Number 1, have a winning mindset. A winning mindset is developed through accepting that setbacks, struggles, rejection, things not going your way, people not joining, buying products, or supporting your journey is going to happen. Accepting that people will leave your business, but despite all of this, you continue to keep going, learning and growing through all the seasons in your business, and understanding that your setbacks make space. 2, understand that vulnerability creates connection. No one wants a perfect leader in Arbonne. Yes, your team want to be inspired by your wins, but they are even more inspired by your losses. Share the stories of the events that didn't create any QV or sales, the times you shared the business with someone and got to know, the times when someone joined your team only to quit. This inspires them to know that these things are normal and all a part of the process of building. Number 3, be okay with the build, but also the rebuild. I have rebuilt my organisation multiple times throughout my 8-year journey. I've lost districts, areas, and even VPs. Some stay, some go, some come back, and that's all okay. Love everyone for where they choose to go on their journey. Keep the door open and continue to build for the future. Number 4, have discipline and commitment. Push yourself, even on the days you don't feel like it. Evaluate what's more painful, the pain of pushing through the struggle or the pain of staying where you are, going backwards and doing nothing. Number 5, know your why today, but also know your why will be bigger in the future. Build now for that future why, and remember that as the seasons of your life change, so will your reasons why you do Arbonne. And number 6, work hard in your business, but also make time for fun, rest, and downtime. Don't get caught up in the hype that you need to be constantly hustling in order to achieve your goals. You'll burn yourself out, and actually, it's not attractive nor desirable to your network or to your team. In the midst of building for the future, do not forget there's a present life to be lived and fully enjoyed. I am grateful for every single one of my struggles, both in Arbonne and in my personal life, because without it, I would never have found my strength. Arbonne has changed my life in ways that I would never even have imagined. And I can confidently say because of this business, I am healthier, happier, stronger, more confident, and a compassionate human being. I am nowhere near where I want to be in my journey, and I know there will be more seasons of growth and there will also be more seasons of struggle. However, I am always committed to staying the course, learning, growing, and building for the future. I believe that the best is yet to come for my own business and organisation, and I also know that the best is yet to come for Arbonne and this community. Don't quit, stay the course, and you'll look back with so much pride and joy knowing how far that you've come. Thank you.
Thank you, Rachel.
Having a winning mindset sure paid off for you. Remember, things aren't always easy. The hard work really is worth it and pays off in the end. Stay the course.
Now